What's up, crypto hackers? Welcome back to another episode of Hack Crypto, where we hack our cryptocurrency and blockchain education. On this channel, we talk about everything NFTs, crypto, and blockchain in general. If you guys are brand new here, don't forget to be subscribed and turn notifications on. If you guys like this video, be sure to slap the like. Helps the channel, helps get this content out to more people. Now, on this episode, I'm going to be sitting down with Rick Dugdale. He is the director of the new Anthony Hopkins movie, Zero Contact, and it is a super cool and innovative concept behind this movie. He's also the co-founder of a new platform that is called Vuele. This platform is going to pioneer NFT-powered movies. The Zero Contact NFTs that are being auctioned off on OpenSea currently at this moment, all the links will be in the description below for you guys to go and check out. The different tiers allow you to do different things. And across the board, what they've done is they've allowed for you to get a copy of the original film and also to produce your own version with you in the film. That's right. You get access to their crew that are going to be splicing you in to different pieces of the film, and you get that for yourself. This is a new way to connect with fans. This film specifically was filmed during the pandemic, so everything looks like it is remote. And it is a really, really innovative way of going about filming a movie during a pandemic, because it's very hard already to film that level of a production with somebody like Anthony Hopkins and like 80 people doing the production. It's just a lot of work. They're doing this across 18 different locations, all these different actors, all these different moving pieces is very complex. Of course, there is a blockchain component in the film Zero Contact. Ultimately, the platform underneath Zero Contact is Vuele, that he is a co-founder of, and he talks about a lot at the beginning here. So without further ado, let's jump into my interview here with Rick Dugdale. He's the director of the Zero Contact movie starring Anthony Hopkins. And he's also the co-founder of Vuele. Let's jump right into it. Today, I am joined by Rick Dugdale, and he is currently the co-founder of Vuele, as well as the director of the Zero Contact universe. How's it going today, Rick?
Very good. Very good. Thanks for having me, Steve.
Yeah, excited to dig in here. I heard about this a couple months ago. A lot of people have recommended that I dig into it. So it was great to get you on here and dive deeper into it. But before we get into Zero Contact and Vuele, let's talk about you. What's your background?
You know, I've been in the film business for almost 25 years. I grew up in Canada, moved to the US about 20 years ago. Kind of got a background starting on X-Files and kind of came through the ranks in physical production, and then converted to a producer about 18, 20 years ago. And slowly been kind of building a company that is growing pretty quickly, and we're shooting films all over the world, including Zero Contact.
Very cool. So let's talk about Vuele. What is it, and how does it work?
You know, Vuele, when we made Zero Contact, it was obviously a unique film. And when we completed production, we realized that maybe there's something here to do with a different distribution model. We had been playing around in blockchain a little bit and trying to get a better understanding of what would that look like for Hollywood, and what is the future of Hollywood distribution, and decided to take Zero Contact and do it our own and create this blockchain, NFT play. And so we partnered with Cameron Shell and his team over at CurrencyWorks, who are also experts in the space of fintech and NFT development, I should say. And so I pitched it to him. I said, well, what could we do with an NFT strategy, and what would that look like? And he said, well, listen, I think we can do it. So we started putting the pieces together for Vuele, and said to ourselves that Vuele could be the first of its kind as a full-length feature film distribution platform for Hollywood, but doing it the right way, working with the right people, getting validation in the space. We couldn't just be Hollywood coming in guns a-blazing into the crypto NFT space. That would be a mistake. So we partner with the right people, and we think we're trying to do it the right way and respect the community.
Nice. Yeah, I like that. Going with the experts, partnering with them, and easing your way into the community is always a good angle for sure, especially in something as touchy as NFTs and as small of a community
Right.
as it currently is.
To add to that, our goal was that this is about being here for the long haul, not just coming in, being a studio in somewhat of a cash grab scenario. This is about engaging a community, building a community, and learning from them and growing with them. And we really wanted to focus on that. I think it would be a mistake if we just came in and released one big movie and be be the end of it. It's about having the staying power with the right people. So
Yeah. Yeah.
hopefully we can do that.
And that's a good segue into Zero Contact itself. So from the Vuele platform, and then you directed this awesome movie with Anthony Hopkins. How are they connected? And can you talk a little bit about the movie as an NFT?
The film actually, so the origin of the film, to start with that, is that when the pandemic hit, we all kind of looked at each other. We had a think tank that we put together from around the world and said, well, how do you make a film if you can't be in the same room together? And so we had to brainstorm what organic storyline could be done remotely without being a Zoom movie or a Zoom horror movie. And so we went the other direction, and Cam Cannon, the screenwriter, came up with this idea, and we workshopped it with a few other people for a couple of weeks. And all of a sudden we had a script that it was very fast, that he wrote the script. And all of a sudden it was something really, really good that we wanted to make, and we fast tracked it. And so Zero Contact was shot in 17 countries, 89 cast and crew, all remote, or as the title says, Zero Contact. And so it just made sense that for us to look at blockchain, the storyline has blockchain in it. Anthony Hopkins' character is a mad scientist, futurist, technologist that has developed possibly a time machine or some kind of time travel machine that was developed using blockchain technology. So it was organic for us to say, well, what would this look like as an NFT distribution play? Because we can work it into the storyline. And, Zero Contact is the first film, is not just the end of this universe. So we hope to build a multi-platform, community building, fan engagement, gamified type of franchise. That's what we're aiming to do here. So it made sense as an NFT play to be able to really engage with the community. If you release theatrically or in a traditional distribution play, you're going to kind of see the movie and that's it. You're on to the next film that you want to see. And so this is about fan engagement and community building. So hopefully that's what we have here.
Yeah. Yeah. And what are the different pieces that go into the NFTs? Like there's the golden ticket, there's a ticket to see the film. What are the different kind of categories that you guys have?
Yeah, so right now there's 2 drops that are out there on OpenSea that the auctions end Monday and Tuesday. So very unique. Obviously, we built kind of a bundle of items that we think the NFT space will appreciate. One being the crypto artists, DC and Remo, who have created these pieces of art that are very much code that will be built into the Zero Contact universe. We also have what is extremely unique is you will be able to reshoot a character of your choosing. There'll be a limited few that we can actually do it with, but you can shoot one of the characters. We will insert you into the film, and your NFT will be your version of the film starring the rest of the cast. So that I don't think you can do with a James Bond movie, but we can certainly do it here. You also get access to subsequent sequels and franchise building and visits to the set and really be part of our operation and universe. And then you'll get, with the golden ticket, you get access to future Vuele drops and future films that Vuele will be distributing on our platform. So it's really about a very unique process, certainly, to be able to insert the winners into the film. So that will be one of a kind, I think.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about, that I could shoot my own little segment of me being in the film, and it would be kind of interchangeable with the current pieces. So each frame kind of has these different NFT parts to it. Is that kind of how you're looking at it?
Well, I mean, we will continue to build out the world. So the crypto art will play into the universe, as we will see moving forward. Each person, if you actually, and I think there's some people aren't recognizing the first 10 drops, including the one of one. So the first 11 all have that ability. You will all be able to shoot a role and be in your version of the film. You also have the original version of the film, with the original cast, but all 11, you will be able to reshoot and you'll work with the filmmakers and the editors. We will insert you into your version of the film. Obviously, the way the film was shot around the world, some of the characters were shot more like this conversation. A lot of it was, beyond that. So some of the characters we couldn't potentially reshoot. but you will be in the version of Zero Contact. And then we'll see where it goes from there. That character and that the owner of the NFT could also play a part moving forward. We want it to be interactive and, again, something that hasn't really been done before.
Super cool. That's awesome. You get access to the original and then you get to make your own version of it. That's really unique. Very cool. So this is kind of a new concept. I have not heard of anything like this in the past whatsoever, not even close actually, in terms of films being innovated on in this way. So where do you see this going? Where, 5 years from now in your vision for Vuele, where do you see films going?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people in the space looking at blockchain and how to do it. You're seeing a lot of films being, attempting to finance components of their film and their finance plan using an NFT play and maybe pre-selling collectibles and whatnot. I think there's a lot of things that play into it. One is transparency and potentially piracy issues and how to prevent piracy. It won't prevent piracy, but it's going to be another barrier if you're having everything live on the blockchain. That's what we believe. I also think that not every film will work as an NFT play. If it's universally adopted by the masses globally, then yes, everything can be on the blockchain. I think we will get there. But if you're making a smaller independent film, you still need the marketing components to get proper distribution in our business, which is no different than NFT. You need, whether it be actors or gamification in this space, there needs to be some marketing component to ultimately get people to want to have ownership and create value and hopefully a secondary market. So you look at something like Zero Contact, it's obviously star driven and we're fortunate to have Anthony Hopkins as the star of it. But we also have this gamification that we're doing and you're building out a universe. And it's something that you look at Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones or a Marvel universe. Imagine what that would look like if there's an NFT strategy years ago. Obviously, Marvel's still going. Lord of the Rings 20 years ago, if they had an NFT play, people would be able to engage a lot more. And there's a revenue stream that has never existed before, but it's about engaging the fan base and including them in what we're doing, not just coming in, selling to them and leaving, giving them something of ownership, making them feel part of it. So I think the future is with blockchain distribution. I think Vuele is well positioned to be the company to start the process.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned previously, I was going to talk about the team that you guys have. Obviously, there's the team at Vuele, and then you had this massive production team for this very large production of the film. So what was it like working with that many people? Did you sit everybody down and go through how NFTs works? Did you have to educate everybody?
Yeah, that's a great question. And yes, we've spent a lot of time on the education process for sure. In a two-step factor, when we made the film, we didn't obviously think we're going to release it as an NFT strategy. It was, how do you make it a crazy film during the pandemic? It was hard to convince people to do that as step number one, because everyone says, well, what do you mean we're going to shoot a film over Zoom and in Japan and Germany and Scandinavia? How does this even work? Well, here's how we're going to do it. And then it took a lot of convincing. It was easier because, the whole world was suffering, which meant everyone was available, whether you're in all these countries or just in the US. So we convinced people how to make the film. Then we get into post-production, and our partners, Håkan Carlson and his team in Sweden, who we've worked with on 7 films, they're our full post-production team. They started looking at it and said, well, wait a second, this is really something. Then you bring on a visual effects producer, which is Ian Duncan. And he looks at it saying, do you think I could have a little more time with this? Because this is amazing, the outcome. So then we delayed post-production because it started to get better and better and better. And then when we were ready to start showing it to distributors, that's when we said, well, why stop now? We've created something new, so let's keep going. And then that's the call to Cameron Shell and his team at CurrencyWorks. So he brings on another 20, 30 staff from his side. And that's when we put together this joint venture. And then it was convincing the creatives and the actors to say, listen, we're going to release this as an NFT. And then the education process started at that point. So from there, it was bringing on the experts to actually educate myself and our team so that we can get that out there. But we've had some all hands calls where it's literally an education, and listening to guys like you and understanding the space has been helpful as well. But it's been a whole learning process the entire way. But it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's great that you educated everybody. You indoctrinated all these people into the space just by being on set. That's incredible. So in terms of, the next steps for you guys, you mentioned there's an auction. Where can people learn more about the auction and what can they expect?
So the best place is to go to vuele.io, vuele.io. All the information's there. The first 11 are on OpenSea. The auction closed Monday and Tuesday. The future will be additional drops with very, very limited exclusions compared to what we're offering now for the first 11, but there'll be a different value point, obviously. Vuele will be onboarding additional films before the end of the year, we hope. And moving forward, it's about getting, again, validation in the space. So we don't want to just come in and be, here's a new platform and here's 20 movies. We have to earn it. And so the films that we will be taking on coming up will essentially by doing an analysis in the space and understanding what would work. And we're going to learn a lot from this film. But we hope that by the end of next year, there's possibly 30 to 50 films on Vuele that you can engage with and own in your wallet. You can trade and be part of it. And ultimately, maybe this is part of history. But we think the future is blockchain and NFT, and hopefully we're just the start of it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, those are all the questions I have for you, Rick. Wherever you guys are watching or listening, all the links that Rick mentioned will be in the description. But thanks so much for coming on the show, Rick.
Thanks so much for having me. Good time.
That is it for my interview here with Rick. He was a fantastic guy, and it was a lot of fun talking through how NFTs are going to change and revolutionize how the entertainment industry works. All the different pieces to this project represent the future. And I believe that NFTs are going to be a way that not only films are distributed, but also the fans can connect in these unique ways, like the plug and play component that Rick and his team added, where you can do your own version of the Zero Contact movie with you starring in it, is a really innovative approach. And I like that the format is already all these different tiles of the different actors playing in all these different locations all over the world. And that opens the door for it to be a global community. And he mentions this multiple times, but I can't emphasize this enough. Community is everything. So definitely check the links in the description to join the Discord, become part of the community, and definitely just support Anthony Hopkins because that guy is the man. I've been a fan of him for so long. So it was great to sit down with Rick. And that is it for this episode. Slap a like if you guys liked this video and you want to see more of these innovative kind of concepts around film and NFTs because I love it. And that is it. I will see you on the next episode of Hack Crypto.